So for the project, let me read the full name. Our project, we call it AGREEN because it's kind of abbreviation suggesting from one side the green, the color green, for green agriculture, and from the other side, the first three letters from agro or agricultural sciences and topics in general. We selected this short title or abbreviation for the project to be able to somehow explain in one word what are we dealing with or what we want to change. Otherwise, the full title of the project is Cross-Border Alliance for Climate Smart and Green Agriculture in the Black Sea Basin. From this long title, there are a lot of questions that rise. Of course, why Alliance, why Climate Smart, why Black Sea Basin? And I'm about to explain each of these terms in the following slides. First, I will need to mention, because the financing program make us to mention that the project is financed from the Black Sea Basin program. This is kind of regional or cross-border program financed by the European Union through the European Commission, and it's aimed at achieving three priorities for the countries around the Black Sea. The Black Sea as sea and the countries that have borders with the Black Sea. These are the only countries eligible to be included in this project. But each separate project have built his own consortium, let's call it. We have selected our partners like also the other consortiums did. And it's not said that you need to have partners from all the countries. You just select the ones that are proper and that are, eager to work on the same topic as you. And our topic is the climate smart agriculture. This is the area. You see it over there. This is the area of the Black Sea Basin, and these are the countries included. By the way, it's not very fair for some of us, like Turkey and Bulgaria, for example, because, and also Greece, I believe, because our countries are included in this program with just a few administrative areas. While Georgia, Ukraine, and Armenia, for example, are included with the whole territory of the country. That's why in our country, the project is a little bit limited, let's call it, in terms of territory scope, while in other countries, they are able to work on the full territory. Still, this is what the European Commission decided for the Black Sea Basin, and these are the countries from which we can have eligible partners. Another thing is that our project is 30 months, and it's supposed to end in 10 days at the end of this month. We have submitted a request to the managing authority to prolong this project with 6 months, but until now it's not signed. So we cannot still confirm if we will have this additional 6 months or will be over in 10 days. That's why the period for now, the official one for the implementation of this project is since June 2020 when we started. This was before the COVID, a little bit before the COVID, and it's supposed to end now at the end of this month. The project background, why we decided to have this initiative at the first place. Because a few years ago, the concept of climate smart agriculture was, let's call it, recognized by some official organizations, not yet authorities, I may say, but at least organizations. The first one who gave official definition what is climate smart agriculture was the FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization, which is international established organization. And nowadays we see that most of the governments already, especially in our countries, in Black Sea Basin countries, already started to recognize the concept, the principles, and started to build or to develop or to improve their strategies, national strategies, how to implement these principles in their countries. It's quite a new subject, we may say, because it's not popular. If you say sustainability, everybody knows what is sustainability. we are sick of sustainability already, you may say, but climate smart agriculture is quite new term to be introduced. That's why we focus on this issue, because we believe that this is one of the ways to achieve also sustainable development in our regions. And another common cross point, let's call it, that we found between our countries is that actually our agriculture is has a similar background. Most of our countries were traditionally, or regions, traditionally agricultural regions. So we have the traditions. We know how it was in the past. We had, most of us, green agriculture in the past, our grandparents. Of course, nowadays, the cultivation methods changed, and the Western practices, um, supposed to be modern, more productive, were introduced also in our countries. And this kind of led us a little bit away from our traditions and from what we know from our ancestors. Climate smart agriculture is not trying to bring us back to these times. I mean, it's not trying to draw us back to the old methods, but it's trying to implement the new methods in such a way so we do not forget what we have as resources, and we also manage to preserve these resources for the future generations. This is one of the main, you may say, the general topic of the climate smart agriculture concept at first place. So the other aim of the climate smart agriculture is to fight against climate changes. Climate changes are not recognizing countries, borders. It affects everybody without any exclusion. And we also found out during the design phase of this project that our countries are facing similar problems in terms of climate changes and the effect on the environment and the agriculture in particular. So this was the background. We found that we have common problems, so we decided that we need to offer common solutions. So the project Cross-Border Alliance for Climate Smart and Green Agriculture in the Black Sea Basin, from now on called AGREEN, is aimed at building capacities for networking and transnational knowledge transfer, because we believe that every change starts with mindset change. The physical change, the introduction of new technologies, etc., they are a follow-up from the, how to say, the idea needs to rape, to be ready, to be implemented in this place or other places, and then you start actually physical change. That's why we think that the first step would be to build capacity together with building network. She said I should continue talking. Okay, should I tell a joke or something? I forgot where I was. Как во Франция? Добре. Да. И пак съм на началото. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Background here. As I told you, I'm about to kill someone. He's pretending that he does not understand English. Where was I? So the project. This was the basic aim. Now I will introduce a little bit the concept of the climate smart agriculture, just to let you know what are the three pillars, so to say, of the climate smart agriculture. And for this, I need my diagram. Защо? We will restart the presentation, obviously, for the online participants because it seems it's not changing or then their screens. Not changing. Yes, Lilith confirms that it's not changing. We're trying to solve this issue right now.
It is not shared. We do
It
not
will
see
be
any share.
yeah. We're trying. Just a second, please. Does it?
Yes, there.
By the way, we have downloaded all the presentations that were uploaded this morning, included in the Google Drive, your presentations. So we have them all already. And for the presentations, I was wondering, would you like to give you a link to the Google Drive folder where we have all the presentation already uploaded? So all the participants may access, download them, etc. Just make sure that you do not edit the presentations there.
Maybe we can just send the presentations to them because they're.
Yes, you may add. Yeah, but if you want to change the presentation now, you should make it in the Google Drive.
Do we need?
Yes, directly, because the final versions, all the final versions are uploaded. Any of the trainers, if you are going to make changes now, please make them directly in the Google Drive. Sure.
You mean
what we can do, Lilith, for your participants, I'm not sure. Valentina is calling, sorry. She's late. Please wait there and please wait. Valentina will join us. She's downstairs and Chrissy will go to take her. Valentina is the trainer for the Romanian partner of this University of Constanța. Okay, I continue now. I hope, yes, ladies, you do see, and here we also see, so all is good. Project-specific objectives. I'm not about to read all of these details, so I will skip. You will have access to the presentations anyway. After today, let's say after the end of today, I will take the presence list, and for all the emails that are written there, we will send you the link to the Google Drive. Since it's hosted in a Gmail account, probably when you receive the link, you will need to request access. But just request access for the button, and when we see the request, we will admit you in the folder. We will leave this folder there for you for, let's say, at least a few weeks. So you may access, download, or use the presentations. You will find the curriculum, the guidebook, and the agenda also there. All the files that we will discuss these 3 days. So I skip the specific objectives, quite boring actually, and focus on the climate smart agriculture, because here I want to highlight just the 3 pillars, so to say, the 3 key points for which the climate smart agriculture cares. And this is the increase of agricultural productivity and incomes. These have this main aim has 2 purposes. First one is to increase the agricultural productivity. As I said, the modern agriculture was focused mostly on this aim to increase productivity because the population is growing. We need more food. It's clear for everybody. And the old-fashioned ways of production, they cannot provide such volume of goods and food needed for the world population. That's why we do not deny this aim to increase the productivity, but we insist to make it in a smart way, not in a way that we ruin the environment and then to live with no more food for no one. The second aspect of this particular aim is the incomes, because the climate smart agriculture cares not only to the population to be fed, to have enough food, but also for the producers to have enough income. I don't know, actually, I know also about your countries because I have researched, and I'm pretty sure that it's the same as in our country, but I will share our experience. In our countries, our producers, agricultural producers, they faced great difficulties because most of the retailers, most of the traders between the producer and the market, they are the one who have the greatest benefits. They have these enormous benefits while they pay to the producers very small amount of money for their labor. We consider this fact not fair, actually, and we believe that the producer should gain a fair income, which answers their needs at first place. And good morning, afternoon. Not yet, not yet. You're not so late, don't worry. Have a seat. We will register you later. Where was I? So the income of the farmers, we believe that the profit is not fairly distributed and more money should go to the producers themselves. In this relation, by the way, this short chain of delivery is introduced now in some countries that may help as an approach. Another thing that is applied everywhere, also in your countries, is that the state pays some subsidies to the producers, but these subsidies are not enough, so to say. On the other hand, these subsidies kind of twist the market because the state decides that this year they pay subsidies for growing watermelon, let's say. All the farmers decide suddenly to grow watermelons because they are money from the state. And these subsidies, if they are not smart designed, let's call them, they are twisting the market. That's why we prefer the state to introduce less in the agri-food market and the farmers to gain more from their labor and their goods directly from the market, not through subsidies, etc., etc. This was the first pillar. The second pillar is focusing on mitigate emissions, carbon footprint, all the impact on the environment. It's very, very hot topic nowadays. I was very amazed, for example, to learn of a practice that when we were in Greece, one of your partners shared in Greece that they managed somehow to develop the software which is calculating the carbon footprint of a farm. For us, it's quite an innovation and should be transferred. I mean, should be promoted because it's important, not only for the producer to know his own footprint, but also for the final customer. Because nowadays, the customers are also different than they were 20 years ago. Now they care from where the food comes, who grow up these vegetables, did they harm animals while producing, did they pollute the environment? The customers are different. They have different demands and we should follow also these demands. We should have them in mind as producers, not we, I mean the producers. And the last pillar of the climate smart agriculture, I'll try this one. Let's see how it will works. Okay, is to enhance adaptation and resilience to climate change. And when we say adaptation to climate change, we see actually our farmers fighting to introduce partial measures, whatever they can, whatever they are able to do. But these are incidental, let's say, practices, incidental measures. And they are not focused and there is no strategy towards fighting the climate change and towards, how to say, joint adaptation of the agriculture towards the changes. The changes, in your report, it was written, right? In 50 years, the temperature will rise with 3 or 4 degrees. And this will be absolutely crucial for maybe half of the plants that we are growing nowadays. So we need to adapt, otherwise we will not be able to survive. but we need to also educate the farmers how to adapt. We need to introduce them to such innovations, to new practices. Otherwise, each one for themselves, they will not be able to dig through all the information and to get oriented. That's why this is one of our last aims. I told you about the aims. I will not tell you exactly how we are planning or almost achieved some of them. The other slides, I will go quickly through. One was the most important, to introduce you to the context, why we decided to make. Then with whom we made it, we almost made it with these beautiful partners. Most of them we have here, but basically 6 countries are involved in this particular project. We are the leading partner in Dobrođa Agrarian and Business School. As I mentioned to some of you already, we're an association that was established more than 15 years ago. I don't remember exactly, but the aim was to establish a university, agricultural and agri-entrepreneurial university in Dobrich, in this region, because this is agricultural region. I believe when you travel, you realize that we have fields. I mean, we have a lot of land, which is very good, very productive land. And we believe that we should have university here. As I mentioned, in our countries, not all the things go like they are supposed to or should. So for the 16 years, we applied with a project to open university, agriculture and agri-entrepreneurship and agroecology measures were planned. It was positively evaluated by the national agency, and then it moved to the parliament. And we need to wait for the parliament to say yes, open the university. We wait for 15 years. However, because there is not a deadline in our in our legislation, so but we can wait more if needed. It kind of lack of political will, let's call it. However, we try to work on these subjects because we feel the need for our region through different ways, and this project is one of them. Then the other partners, the second one is from Romania. This is Ovidius University of Constanța. Valentina just arrived and she's not ready to tell us a few words. You're always ready. I love you for that. Would you like to share words? Yes, please, but should be on the microphone because our Armenian friends are online. And yes, please.
Okay. Hey, hello, my name is Valentina Pomazan. I'm an expert in the membership of Partner 2 of Ovidius University of Constanța in Romania. We are neighbors. Welcome here to this ambitious project. We had some let's say, even breakthrough information got from the project, even though this is not a research one. We managed to establish the tendencies for branding strategies, the wish list for the locals around the Black Sea region. And we also managed to consolidate the 6th chapter in your guide, in your training guide. These are the main partners' input among overall contribution to the project actions, which are gracefully conducted by Violeta.
Thank you. Personally, the team, of course.
If you have any questions or peculiar questions regarding our contribution. If not, I will pass on for the next partner.
I would like to just to add that Valentina is the author of one of the chapters of this training course, because she's so modest and she would not admit, but she's the author, as are also our guests. When I'm mentioning the modules, I will also tell you who is the author if they are here, of course. So our third partner is Tekirdağ Namık Kemal University in Tekirdağ, Turkey. And today It's represented by Professor Fatih Konukcu. Is it okay? Is it correct? It's very hard for us to pronounce these names. He is also here with free trainees. So if you would like to say a few words about your university, that would be okay. Christina will give you the mic. We have been there. Actually, we have been everywhere already, in all the countries, in all the partners.
Good morning for everybody. My name is Fatih Konukcu. I am working for Tekirdağ Namık Kemal University Agricultural Faculty. Actually, our faculty is a state-based university, and it serves since 2006. But the participating Faculty of Agriculture established in 1982. So it's serving more than 40 years around the region. We are doing research on all aspects of agriculture. Actually, I take part in this project as a trainer. I mean, I will teach today module 1, the concept of agriculture, the concept of climate smart agriculture. I hope it will be a successful meeting. Thank you very much.
And again, Modest, he's the author of this chapter of the guidebook and the training materials. Thank you very much, Fatih. Then our Georgian friends are not here today. As I mentioned, they had these traveling accidents. I'm really worried because they have not indicate where are they and are they okay yet, but still they also had a chapter. Each partner had one chapter from the guidebook and from the training course to develop. Then we have online our Armenian friends from ICARE, International Center for Agribusiness Research and Education. Lilith is the second one appearing on our screen, the smiley one, who is just about to say yes, a few words about ICARE.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks, Lilith.
Thank you, Violeta. My name is Lilith. I represent International Center for Agribusiness Research and Education, ICARE Foundation, and we have been established in 2005 by the NDAM Texas A&M University. And what we do a lot of things in agriculture field. We provide education, we provide training, short-term trainings. We do research in different fields of agriculture and agribusiness. We implement development projects, etc. We try to engage as much stakeholders as possible, and we try to connect people to each other to identify cutting-edge knowledge in, in the world and to bring it to Armenia. And we are very happy to have this partnership, and thank you for cooperation. In the training module development, we were in charge for the sixth, which I do not
sixth,
remember
four.
the numbering. Third. And it was managing sustainable farms. Today, Lucina Nalbadian is with us. She is our external expert, and she was in charge for development of the training module. Lucina, if you want to say a little words.
Yeah, I can just say hello. It's nice to be here. Nice to be part of this interesting initiative and looking forward to the training. Hello, everyone.
Okay, thank you. And today we have Anna Hovanesyan from ICARE as well with us, and we have many trainees from Armenia. Our team is bigger than it was supposed, as we had some technical problems for travel, but it was also nice opportunity to engage more people from Armenia. So they are all on board,
yes.
they are all here with us, and we are fully engaged in the training. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lilith. And now I go to the last but not least partner, who is our Greek partner who changed his name during the project. And now it's an Anatoliki organization for local development. Vaso is here with us as community of practice coordinator from Anatoliki. A few words, please. Up.
Yeah, okay. So hi, everyone. I'm Vaso Papadopouliou. So I work for Anatoliki, a development organization for local development. It used to be a development agency. So we are located in Thessaloniki, northern Greece, in the region of Central Macedonia. We were involved in this project with great interest because climate smart agriculture was a new concept for us. And we really gained a lot of knowledge out of this project. Although we have the specialty of agronomists in working in the organization, like Natasha, who is here with me today. And she's very much engaged into this. I personally a chemical engineer, so I also had a lot to learn. And we, during the project, we had the help from our external expert, Oekon, and Jenny Eleme, who is also here with us today, and she's one of the authors of the guidebook, and she will give the presentation for this module today. So thank you very much, everyone, and thanks to our trainees who came along, and they were fully engaged from the very first moment to follow the project. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Vaso. In my presentation, I will just mark what else you will find. I mean, the trainees, the partners, they know this presentation by their heart. I'm sure they've seen it like 10 times already, all the meetings, all the conferences, etc., etc. But for the trainees, these are the main target groups. I will just mention them. Local public authorities, we're trying to engage them to at least to get interested, if not involved, in the new trends. And we're trying to work with our local public authorities, each partner in their country and region. Then interested groups, including NGOs. These are groups of local farmers, sometimes formal, sometimes even not formal, like local communities in the villages. I mean, the farmers usually get together, right? Like they communicate all the time, they exchange daily issues they face, they exchange advices, etc., etc. We would like to identify these communities and to work with them or to provide them with ready-made solutions. That's why they're important target group of the project. Then higher education and research. Of course, we have invited two universities, as you have already heard, because we're searching for the expertise of the researchers, of the people working in science, in favor of the practical agriculture. So we consider ourselves like mediators, you know, between the researchers, the science, and somehow to translate what they find out and to deliver it to the farmers in a plain and simple way to be understandable. Then business support organizations, this target group was pointed out in particular by the program because they believe that business support organizations have access to the usual farmers. In our country, to be honest, it's not exactly working like this. Our business support organizations are considered to be mostly the Chamber of Commerce, let's say, and they're not dealing so much with the agriculture. So in our case, we found different ways to approach the local farmers through different types of organizations. I really hope it's the Georgians. Let me check. Yes. I may read it if you care. We landed in Istanbul at about 4 this morning. It was total mess at the airport and got to hotel at about 7 in the morning. Our flight to Varna is tomorrow, 9:20, arriving to Varna 9:20. Bulgarian time. This is probably because of the time difference. If we do not show there, then our return tickets will be canceled. Anyway, we were so overstressed, we could not take car or bus, of course, to Varna this morning. More so as we cannot get to Varna before late evening by car, next morning by bus. I don't know. What you tell me? What's the final? They will arrive tomorrow morning, hopefully in Varna. I will arrange a car to pick them up. That's not a problem. I will tell them that I will send the car, just get to Varna. It's I don't know, it's a bad luck, or it's such an unfortunate trip for them.
Violeta, maybe you
Yes,
can send them the link. Maybe they will be able to join online at least.
they have arrived in the hotel 3 hours ago. Do you think they, I mean, let's have some mercy. Let's have some mercy. Um,
Yeah.
I'm really sorry for this
We are
situation. I really
recording.
feel for them because I know what it is if everything goes wrong at some point like this. However, I don't have a lot of time, so I need to move forward. How much time do I have according to the agenda? Chrissy, may I have an agenda, please? 20 minutes. Okay. Expected results. These are the results from the project. I will mention just them to tell you where are we. We're almost at the end, of course, and we have already most of the results. The first one, as Valentina already mentioned, was to deliver a blueprint for a common brand for agricultural products delivered in climate smart way in the Black Sea Basin. This one is already available on the project website. I will show the website. Then the second expected result was to create better opportunities for the cross-border cooperation and trade of such type of products. We already also advanced quite a lot in achieving these results by creating the green platform, by creating the interactive map. I will show you how it looks. Then, oh, it's so stressful. They will be there tomorrow morning. Then the cross-border network of like-minded professionals we built through the green community of practice. We also, I will also mention more details about it. The enhancement of the capacity of the young farmers is actually the final achievement we would like to get through this training course that we developed and through this piloting training that we expected to multiply to your local communities when you come back home. And finally, the applied innovative climate adaptation models. These are the 6 crop models that our experts across the partners developed. We tested these modules and we already produced the reports from the testing. I can give you a few examples just to mention the crop models. For example, in Bulgaria, we tried to grow triticale, which is not so popular plant, a mix between wheat and barley, artificially cultivated plant, let's call it. And we tried to grow it in 2 different ways, conventional, of course, and the second one was no-till. To be honest, the no-till technology was a total failure, but we realized that we made some mistakes, let's call it. When we saw the results, we realized that we made some mistakes in application of the procedure because of the particularities of this particular field. The field was not planted for more than 10 years. It was covered with grass, which is not a problem for the no-till, but it seems that because the ground was not cultivated, it lost its micro elements, etc., etc. And our no-till technology was supposed to somehow recultivate this field, but without processing the ground, without digging through it, we could not insert elements, micro elements in the ground. And our no-till experiment was a total failure for the first year. Now, this autumn, a couple of weeks ago, our experts who are taking care of the field told me that the grains that fell on the ground during the harvest actually grew up again by themselves without our intervention. And they said that this year we will have better results because the ground is already prepared. So we will duplicate the experiment. We will make it again, and we will observe the results for the second year and compare to the first one to realize what we done wrong. But even the first year was not good. They believe that when they correct the mistakes, the second one will be better. The third one will be even better. So this experiment was even not successful, still gave us some knowledge, some practical knowledge. The second plant we grew was okra. You know what is okra? No? Okra? Bamia? Bamia. Yeah, in Bulgarian it's bamia. Also, you do understand. Bamia was quite popular in the past year, but nowadays people are somehow, I don't know, they stopped consuming it. Still, it has many benefits for the health, you know, of the consumers. And since it's not grown here, at least not industrially for many years, we decided to introduce it back as a plant to revive it somehow, its popularity among the local farmers. Our grandmothers usually have some, let's say a few plants in their yards, but no one is growing bamia in bigger scale, let's call, anymore. So we decided to revive it and also to try to grow it in organic way without chemicals, like our grandmothers actually do in their yards, just decided to do it on the field. This experiment was successful, thanks God. At least this one gave good results. What else? I will mention also the experiments in Turkey. Even though the results were not quite ready, at least the one from the walnuts, I remember that when we were last time in Turkey, in Tekirdağ, it was not ready because they were not raped. I hope now you have already results. The Tekirdağ Namık Kemal University, they tested supplement irrigation. You did? But from these gardens, the idea there was they had the trees. Ooh, quite big, actually. We have practical demonstration of products, piloted walnuts. They had the plants, of course, they had the trees in the garden, but as far as I know, the problem is with not enough water in the region to irrigate properly the plants. So they started to make supplementary irrigation by observing the actual conditions and the actual needs and applying the exact quantity of water needed according to the current situation, right? So they measured all the results and they obviously give us to taste the final results. But I'm not having these tools, you know, to break them. Are we supposed to? Maybe, you know what, you say, what we can do, I can give them to the restaurant, ask them to break and to prepare some to taste for the lunch, okay? Yes? Криси, и що няма да ги счупят? Павлинка, ще отидеш ли до ресторанта да ги помолиш, моля те, да ги счупят? We will do this during the lunch break, okay? And we will try. Otherwise, it will be hard. Of course, you can give them like a souvenir, you know, the not breaking one. The second one was sunflower. The second crop model tested in Turkey, again, supplementary irrigation. As far as I know, the results were very good. But you will share, I suppose, by preparing report. The reports from these results are uploaded or will be when they're ready, like with the walnuts on the project website. The third testing session was made in Georgia, and they tried also very interesting techniques. One of them was to grow wheat, but special kind of winter wheat, Georgian one, local one, on the field on inorganic way. And they said that the results are amazing in this region. And the second one was the so-called syntropic agriculture. The syntropic agriculture is to mix different cultures and to somehow simulate the natural symbiosis that you can find in the nature, in the forest, let's say. For example, they had these apple gardens with apple trees. It's orchard, apple garden. And in between the trees, they planted 17 different plants. For example, cucumbers, tomatoes in the rows between the trees. Tomatoes, different herbs, what was it? Strawberries, pumpkins, 17 different plants. They discovered that this symbiosis between the tree and the different plants goes in different directions. So their final results demonstrated that 7 of 17 plants work very well and give better results if they are planted in between trees than outside of the orchard garden. These plants are in the middle, let's say, give the same result. So it doesn't matter if they will be in the garden or outside. And the last group of how much, 5 or 6, are a total disaster. Like you should never plant them in the garden because somehow they influence the trees and the trees influence the plants. So the plants were the result was a total disaster. And they never recommend to mix these plants. We're also expecting them to prepare the reports with the results, and we will provide to the farmers the results to know what to plant and what is not so advisable to be planted. So far we managed to elaborate and to test these 6 crop models. Of course, we're expecting the local farmers to give us ideas. What else do they want us to test? If a local farmer comes and tells me, I want you to sow, let's say, cucumbers and to try to make them 2 meters high or something, we will test this for them and we will provide them with the results without the farmer losing time, resources, money, land to do the experiments themselves. At least in Bulgaria, we're providing our experimental field for such type of testings. Group of activities, I will not read them all. As I said, we're almost finished. Now we are focusing on the last one, entrepreneurial learning for climate smart agriculture. And these are outcomes from the different packages. I go directly to the current one, which is the fourth working package or group of activities. It's the integrative blended mobility training. Why blended? Why integrative? Integrative because we have developed it jointly. All the partners, we distributed the chapters and each partner developed one, but also we worked together on the curriculum, on the aim, on the design of our course to make sure that it will achieve the same results when taught in the different countries. And then blended because this course is not only a course that should be taught in the university or in the school or as non-formal educational course, but it's also designed in a way so you can learn it by self-education, independence learning, so to say, because it has a book version, paper version, let's call it, the handbook. I believe the partners already provided you with the final text of the handbook. So yes, you can go in the school or in the university and you can read the book, and your teachers will teach you by lecturing, seminars, etc. But at the same time, this course will have electronic version through e-learning platform that we will demonstrate later. And you will be able to go on the platform and to study it yourself. We are still fighting with the challenge, so the platform can provide you with certificate, even if you go for the course only online. We would like to have such option, but there are some technical and not only technical particularities, but let's say legislation particularities that in some of the countries, to be eligible, such kind of certificate should follow particular rules. And in this case, it will be better if the course is created, managed, coordinated by one of the partnering organizations, and then they will issue the official diploma. So this is still a kind of topic we're about to finalize with the partners in the next week, but we're trying. The piloting session today, what is the aim of this session? Actually, our aim, not today, but the next 3 days, our aim is not to teach you the full course, because the full course is quite longer. We will not be able to teach it. Our aim is mostly to present the chapters, or as we call them, training modules, because they are separate units with separate topics. We will present you the models, and our trainers will highlight where are the most important aspects that you need to pay attention to. And then when you go back to your countries, each of you, of the trainees, together with the support and the help of the project partners and possibly the authors of the chapters, will need to organize a local event in which you will need to teach. It will be quite a challenge, I'm sure. It will be a challenge, but still, with the help of the partners, I believe you will manage. The idea is that we create this community now from for the project, from the partners. When you go back home, you need to support the project partners in creating the local community, because you are the one who are talking directly to the local people and you have access to the local farmers. So we see you as multipliers. This is also how it's explained in the project, like ambassadors, let's call it, for the AGREEN project and this training course in particular, but also the climate smart agriculture concept in general. We want to go close to the local people through you. So think of you as ambassadors, as multipliers. The event, as I said, will be 3 days and a half according to the official agenda. The internet platform we will demonstrate later is combining different tools. I will also explain the tools. I believe my time should be over for now, and we're about to have